Good afternoon. It's August the 1st, and I am just leaving. Well, it's now called Pump Jacks. It was called Cathedral Free House, but now it's Pump Jacks. This is their deck. I wasn't on the deck, I was inside. And walking home, so I'm going to do a bit of 13th Avenue here. My Terra building over there. Used to be Saskatchewan Pool. Be a short walk. That's okay. Ed sings as many of his favorite songs as he can still remember the words to. Hard to believe that's already more than a year ago now. But it is, and it's on YouTube. So, if you'd like to see it, you can find it here in my YouTube channel, which you are presumably on, or you wouldn't be watching this. So it's a nice space, and also the basement lounge is very nice. I've done a book launch down there as well. They have a bar where you can rent the space and offer drinks without having to get a permit yourself. This is 13th, bit of a shopping area here along here. Shoe clinic. I don't know what that is, some new age thingy. Traditions. Craft gallery. Co-op hail insurance. Not exactly I always think of this as a church, but it's not a church. Maybe it was. Was it? No. I think it reminds me of the old Salvation Army downtown. Paper Umbrella over there is a stationery store. Cup of Tea is a tea store. And there's the Warehouse Books, which is definitely New Age-ish. Burns Hamley, I think, is closed. It's been a long-standing business. Bibles, church supplies. But I think they closed not too long ago. The people that ran it retired. Unfortunately, the silly New Age place is still open, but I guess to each their own. Accounting office, it says now. That used to be the IOOF hall over there. I remember performing in there when I was doing Prairie Opera. I was probably wearing a giant chicken outfit at the time because I did that in a show called Chanticleer. I think I was a chicken. It's hard to remember. I was also a donkey in another show, so it's hard to remember all the weird costumes you wore when you do any sort of theater. This is a coffee house and restaurant and ice cream shop right there. Very popular, very colorful. I always think of that as Aslan over there, but I suspect it's the Luther Lions. Luther High School. Sobeys liquor store. I'm going to walk up to the cathedral, I think, and then we'll hit to the left, which will take us home. I still think of this as a new place, but I guess it's been open a couple of years now. This is Campbell and Halliburton. I was here yesterday getting my insurance. Some of our charming local residents.
Oh, sorry, sir. Hello.
And over here we have Safeway. Where we buy most of our groceries. Cathedral Neighborhood Center over there. And a few things over there as well, off of over the years. Got a pet store, a Cathedral Pet Stop. Filipino Bakery. Barber Shop. And the Mercury Cafe, which I should go into more often than I do, but I've been there for a while. It's just basically kind of a greasy spoon place, but it's not bad. And it has a rocket ship on top of it. You gotta like that if you're a science fiction writer. Hales Forest over there is closed. It was a long-running business, but no more. Pacific Fresh Fish is where we usually buy fish. Next to it is Brandy's convenience store, which I don't usually buy convenience stuff in there, but there's a post office in there I use quite a bit. 33 1/3 coffee roasters. I don't believe I have ever been in there or bought their coffee, but here they are. This is Westminster United Church. Sung in there. Most recently with Wascana Voices, our spring concert was in there. It's a really nice acoustic. I quite like, and I've sung with other choirs in there as well. These old houses are businesses now. The blue one on the corner is Des Arts, which also has a nice cream spot. Oh, looks like they're celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. Westminster United Church. We'll go up to the other side of the cathedral and then turn left. This is Holy Rosary Cathedral. Let's see, Urban Hair Design over there. There used to be a bookstore over here, but it closed. In a university, it's called. It was right there, but it's gone. Oh, there's something else there. Sparrow, whatever Sparrow is. I see candles, so I guess it's kind of a craft store of some sort. Not sure who he is. I've never bothered to look. And on this corner coming up, there's another coffee shop which has been here a long time, and I never go in, rarely. It just has never felt like a place that's conducive to me writing, and that's how I judge everything by. I love these old houses. I think a couple of them still are houses too. But that's the 13th Avenue coffee shop. I still remember dating a girl who lived there back long before I met my wife. Well, I probably had met her, but we weren't dating. Here's the Holy Rosary Cathedral, built in 1910. Quite a Spartan interior. It's not a lavish interior by any means. There was a bunch of work going on here, but it looks like it's been redone. Probably new sod here, I think, from what I remember. This used to be the nuns' residence. Now it's condos. Back of it. This used to be a schoolyard, but the school has been torn down. It's funny because there appears to be a fence at the end of this, but there's no fence on this side of the gate, so I think we can safely make our way through it. Yeah, there was a school here, and then the separate school board offices were over there, and I guess the manse is still there for the priests. That's what that building is. But the school is gone. Now it's just a big empty spot with 2 police cars in it for some reason. Bit of a park here. So you now get a view back here of the back of the cathedral that you never used to get. Yeah, it's still odd to me to see this empty space here. I guess we'll go on down. I think this is Garnet Street. which I used to live on, but way down at the other end, just before the creek, which we won't be walking as far as today. And yes, if you're wondering, my foot still hurts. I'm making the most of it. Some shady along here. So yeah, if we turn around here, and used to be you never saw that view of the cathedral because of the school between here and there. These streets are nice with the old. There's been a rash of Dutch elm disease. I think about 17 trees have been cut down this summer, which is sad. These are elms, I believe. There's a few every year, so this has been a worse year than many. We have elms in front of our house, but so far so good. They're about at the natural end of their lifespan anyway, so over time they'll all go away. But hopefully it's a long time, because they certainly do make these streets very pleasant. Prairie lilies are a provincial flower. Popping up along here. Like the looks of the neighborhood. Here's a house for sale. Nothing too special, but good neighborhood. Mm-hmm. 15th Avenue. I think we will just carry on down Garnet here. This is a good place to cross because it's a four-way stop. College will be the next one, and Garnet will connect us to Leopold Crescent. So I'm quite a bit past where our house is, here to the west. I'll walk back in that direction shortly. I like the old neighborhoods. I don't much care for the new neighborhoods where the garage is always the thing that takes pride of place in the front of the house. It's very unwelcoming, I find. Whereas with these, if they have a garage, it's in the back, like ours is on the alley. And the front of the house is more friendly. And of course, some of them, the old houses, will often have porches where people once upon a time would be likely to sit out. Perhaps not quite as much as in the South. Verandas. I remember sleeping on one, visiting somebody. Too hot in the house, you sleep out on the veranda where the screens keep the bugs out but let in the fresh air at night. This is a very, shall we say, left-wing neighborhood, so you see a lot of, platitudes stuck on signs in people's yards. I don't have much use for that myself. But again, to each their own. I am not a left-wing type. That doesn't shock anyone, but it's true. All right, this is College Avenue now. Go to our left. The road is closed, not too far up from here because of work they're doing. But that's our crescent, so it works out fine for me. I like this house. It's very yellow, but I like it. More mustard, really, I guess. I think Garnet Street ought to be further from Angus Crescent than it is. Because it just, when you work your way over to Cameron from the house, it seems like you've walked a long way. And yet Cameron is actually what attaches to Angus Street, Angus Crescent. Cameron is where the footbridge is over the creek that I often walk over, so I always find it slightly disconcerting that it's the one that connects to the Crescent when it seems like I have to walk a long way from the Crescent to get to Cameron Street. But it's because the Crescent curves around, of course. They call it a Crescent. I don't know what they're doing, but they've been working on College Avenue last year and now this year. Not doing anything at the moment, but it's closed. Okay, Angus Crescent, you can see why it'd be a shame if we lost all our elm trees. And a few have gone. There are spots here and there where you'll see a gap in what was once more uniform, but we've still got a lot of them. A bit of a pain in the fall when all the leaves fall off, but certainly make for a beautiful street here. I'll be happy to get home because my foot is hurting. This is probably a 20-25 minute walk, and that seems to be about my favorite length at this time. Not my favorite, but about as much as I really want to do. Whereas I used to walk an hour every day. But maybe next week there's a biomechanic assessment, and possibly they can do something, orthotics or new shoes or something that will help. Or maybe they'll just tell me to stay off my feet for an extended period of time until it heals up, instead of irritating it day after day. Possible. Nobody has x-rayed the thing either. I don't know if there could be something in the ankle, like arthritis kicking in or something. I just don't know. And with our healthcare system, it could be years before I find out. Hopefully, I can suffer long. I'm still waiting on a referral that was made months ago now to a plastic surgeon to look at my hand because I have something called trigger finger, which is, fingers that kind of lock, kind of. And you have to, it's really noticeable in the morning. It doesn't bother me that much later in the day, so it's not urgent, but I'd still like to have someone look at it, and I'm still waiting. Months I've been waiting for this doctor to get in touch. Speaking of lefties, that was Tommy Douglas's house once upon a time. First socialist premier elected. That was in the 40s. That's a cool house over there. Can't really tell from the outside, but it has a really interesting interior. Big open space with 3 levels, and a big sunken living room. It was for sale a few years ago, and we went in and saw it, but didn't buy it. Built by an architect as his own house. This one has sold. If you'd wanted to be my neighbor, you missed out on that chance. It's definitely the prairie lily season. Seeing them everywhere. More platitudes on the lawn. It's a very nice house, nice yard. They just had something called the Secret Garden Tour, where you could go and look at various gardens around the city, and this one was on the tour. I think they had the people hosting it were dressed up as garden gnomes. And the house on this corner was torn down, so we're waiting to see what might be built there. Right, that's it for this walk. Thanks for walking with me. Bye for now.